we've been, winning games, as everybody's seen. And like I said before, there's ways for us to get better, and that's what's scary.
Like I say, it's cliche, but you want to be playing like your best basketball, regardless of the seeding. We want to feel good going into the playoffs.
Right.
Figuring it out. We're figuring it out. We're coming together. Our chemistry is building game by game. We still got a long way to go, but we're definitely heading in the right direction.
What's up, everybody on YouTube? AJ Russ about to discuss another video. Today we're going to be talking about why the Los Angeles Clippers have to win this season and why this is their best opportunity. So guys, like I talked about in the previous video, I do believe that the Denver Nuggets should be the favorites to come out of the Western Conference again. They're creeping up on that 1 seed and they could potentially get it depending on the Thunder and if they lack or things of that nature. But that's not who I'm talking about right now. The Los Angeles Clippers, the top 4 seed right now, pretty much guaranteed that they're going to be that in the playoffs, hosting a playoff series in the first round. But really what it comes down to is that they have to win this year. Teams that have the most pressure for sure are the Boston Celtics, and really right behind them, I'll say it's the Clippers as well, because man, you've had this duo of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard since 2019. 5 years now. Of course, they've had their battles with injuries over the past few seasons. In particular, Kawhi Leonard missing a lot of time as well. But this season, they've both been relatively healthy. Paul George has missed some time too. But this team has been great. And the addition of James Harden has been special in terms of him being able to create more for them offensively, taking pressure off of Kawhi and PG, and also when healthy, Russell Westbrook, him coming off the bench, being huge. Same with Norman Powell. And obviously, Westbrook is out right now, but they do expect him to return right around before the playoffs or right when it starts. So the team is really stacked, I would say, and they have a lot of firepower as well. So really, what excuse do they have? Tyronn Lue, one of the best, if not the best coach in the NBA, how he's able to make adjustments. We've seen him win a championship in 2016 with Cleveland. Kawhi Leonard, he has that playoff experience as well, a 2-time finals MVP. What excuse do they have, man? This is a perfect opportunity for James Harden, for Paul George, and for Russell Westbrook to get their first rings. So this is why I believe that this is the Clippers' best opportunity to win a title. But before I get into the video in full depth, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications. Make sure you hit the like button. You know what we post about here: sports, lifestyle, pop culture, cooking videos, shorts, reels, all types of things like that. So with that being said, let's talk about the LA Clippers. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Not gonna beat around the bush. We're gonna talk about James Harden first and foremost, guys, because in my opinion, he's the biggest X factor. He's not the number 1 option. He's not even the number 2 option, but he does determine where the ball goes, and he is the head facilitator for the Clippers, essentially being in that point guard role. So for me, man, that's the reason why in particular I just am so iffy on the Clippers. But like I said, he's not the number 1 or number 2 option. This season, he's been balling out. The Clippers have been playing great, like I said earlier. He's been averaging 17.5 points, adding in 8 assists and 5 rebounds, also shooting an efficient 40% from 3 and also 44% from the field. So he has been hooping, man. He's been shooting better, more efficient, because like I said, he doesn't have as much pressure on him. But for me, it's just the playoffs with James, because I'm from Houston. I support the Rockets. I've seen this story before, and he's had MVP level years in Houston, and he's not that same player, but we've seen those meltdowns. We saw it last year in Philadelphia. He had a great regular season. He averaged 21 points and 10 assists, leading the league in assists, almost 11 assists. In the playoffs, it was a different story for sure. Now, I will say he had those couple of 40-point games that were truly essential and needed for the Philadelphia 76ers in the postseason last year, but he also put up a lot of stinkers, and especially in that game 7 against the Celtics. We don't need to talk about it, but he can just disappear in games, and that's my biggest concern. Last year, he shot 39% from the field and also 37% from 3, which isn't bad, but 39% from the field, that's kind of nasty work. So I don't think that he'll have a bad performance like that in the playoffs this year, but he's gonna have to step it up, and he can't stick the ball. That's my thing. He just can't isolate and dribble the ball off of the shot clock, trying to isolate the whole time, because the Clippers are best when they're moving the ball. And you have Kawhi Leonard, who is the number 1 option and is the guy on the team. He's gonna need the responsibility as well. So in the playoffs, you have to get it to him and PG as well to get buckets, and you're gonna need that energy and that punch from Norman Powell and Russell Westbrook. So with James Harden, for me, just him staying in his pocket and not doing too much, scoring when needed, but not being overbearing, not being too isolated with the basketball. I think that's the biggest X factor in terms of that, but that's my biggest concern with them. But in terms of Kawhi and Paul George, they have to stay healthy, dog. That's the biggest key, because if one of them are injured or unable to play, they're cooked. Plain and simple, in my opinion. Cooked. Last season, in the regular season, Kawhi missed 30 games. Then we saw in the 2023 playoffs, Paul George missed the first round because of a knee sprain. So they were inept in that series against the Phoenix Suns. And also, Kawhi Leonard missed the 2021-22 season with a torn ACL. So just all these injuries, man, that's what derails the team. And they've been really healthy this year, knock on wood, hoping that they stay healthy for the rest of the regular season and going into the playoffs, because they're healthy. We have a chance to see an amazing playoffs, and they'll contribute to that because we've never really just had this team healthy. And Kawhi Leonard, both him and PG, they've been hooping this year. Like I said, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 24 points per game, adding in 6 rebounds and basically 4 assists for the season, shooting 52% from the field. Like I said, he's efficient, smooth bucket getter, and shooting 42% from 3. So you have Kawhi Leonard and James Harden shooting 40+% from 3. I mean, that's crazy buckets right there. And then for Paul George, he's averaging 22 points per game, adding in 4 rebounds and almost 4 assists himself. And he's shooting 45% from the field and almost 40% from 3 himself, shooting 39.6%. Round that up, and that's 40% as well right there. So like I said, they have some dogs on the team. They have talent. Russell Westbrook playing good off the bench. Norman Powell playing good off the bench. I mean, this is a golden opportunity. Ivica Zubac, he's a very serviceable big for the Clippers and what they're doing there. So like I said, they have the resources and enough. They just have to stay healthy because this is their best opportunity, man. There's no excuse. Next year, they're going to be in that new Intuit Dome. We can talk about their new uniforms and all things of that nature. But one thing that would be dope is for them to open the new arena with a title banner. And if they were to beat the Nuggets in a potential Western Conference Finals, I don't know if I would pick them over the Celtics. Now, matchup wise, I don't think anyone on the Celtics can truly stick either Kawhi or PG. So that's an intriguing component. But in terms of James Harden, we've seen him against the Celtics last year. So I'm just like, how will that work? Drew Holiday will put them clampers on him. Derek White will put them clampers on him. So it's like, I don't know. And for sure, Kawhi Leonard, he'll be up to challenge to guard Jason Tatum. So actually, that could be an intriguing finals as well, because we saw Jason Tatum falter in the playoffs in 2022. I do believe that he'll play better, but he can't be complacent or passive in that type of matchup because Kawhi Leonard, he's gonna ball. He don't care about nothing else. He just cares about playing basketball. So him and PG, James Harden, Westbrook, they're trying to get a ring, so they don't care about nothing else. So that actually would probably be a good matchup. Say if a Celtics and Clippers finals were to happen. I don't know if I would pick the Celtics. The Clippers would match up well. So that's the thing to think about for sure. And anyone else in the Eastern Conference making it, I don't think that would win. No disrespect to the Heat, who we've seen them, despite the seat that they're in, they can still be dangerous in the playoffs. But if it's not the Celtics, I don't think the Eastern Conference is winning the NBA Finals this year because the West is too stacked. With the Nuggets, with the Clippers, even with the Thunder, even though we haven't seen them in the playoffs, but they still have a really talented roster. Timberwolves, as they get Cat back. And even teams like Phoenix, potentially, you have to take into account for them because they can be dangerous. They just have to stay healthy, just like how the Clippers have to stay healthy. So that's a lot of intriguing components, and that is why exactly the Clippers have to win, because nothing is guaranteed. Kawhi has been healthy this year. We don't know if he'll be as healthy next year. I believe that he turns 33 later this summer, so the time is ticking for sure. Steve Ballmer is paying these guys boatloads and bukus of money, and he wants to win. He's one of the most enthusiastic owners I've ever seen in professional sports, and it would be cool for him to get a ring for the Clippers, but the Clippers, they gotta earn it and they gotta play. Can't play the game on paper. They've been playing great this season, but they have to keep it up and stay healthy. That's the biggest thing for them, so that is why they have to win this year. There's no excuses, and this is their best opportunity. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think that the Clippers have a viable and great chance to win the title this year? Do you think that they're gonna beat the Nuggets in a potential playoff series or any other of these Western Conference teams? And if they were to get to the finals, would you pick them to beat the Boston Celtics potentially? Because like I said, if anyone else in the Eastern Conference, including the Bucks, yes, the Bucks, they're good. They have Dame and Giannis, but I still do not trust them. I don't trust Doc Rivers. Like I said, if anyone else in the East were to make the finals besides the Celtics, they're not winning. You can quote me on that for sure because I don't care. I think the Clippers would win, but they have to get there. So let me know in the comments down below how much pressure you think is on the Los Angeles Clippers to win. I appreciate you guys watching. Always make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SwaggyRuss. And also on TikTok at SwaggyRuss02 for cooking videos, shorts content, all things of that nature. More videos are on the way, guys. Like I said, this is video number 3 of the playoff preview video for all of these contending teams. Next up, I will talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Stay tuned for that because I feel like their window and pressure is particularly on next year, but we'll get into that later for sure, guys. But stay tuned for that. I'm planning to upload 3 videos this week, 2 NBA videos and also another NFL video because NFL free agency, at least a legal tampering period, opened today. Today I'm recording this video, and man, there is so much news in the NFL right now, but we'll talk about that later, guys. But that being said, y'all have a good one. Be blessed. Hope your spring break is going well. Y'all have a good one. Deuces.